Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Uh, this is the Your Way to Canada Education webinar, and as you all know, there are better opportunities, better paths to be taken with an education in Canada, and for most of us, it's quite difficult, right, to navigate the entire process and the things that go along with it. So that's the reason EduFund and My Foreign Education have come together in this collaborative event to ensure that students who want to take part, have their education abroad in Canada, have no difficulties pursuing it. So we have two very special guests with us today. We have Arindam Sengupta and we have Anuja Shekhawat. Thank you so much for joining us. And I let our guests introduce themselves. We'll start off with Arindam.
Hey, hello everybody. This is Arindam. I'm one of the co-founders of EduFund. Part of the reason I co-founded EduFund was as somebody who's gone through the journey himself. So I did my undergrad almost 20 years ago, 21 years ago from Indiana University, Bloomington. And then after working many years, I did my master's from Princeton in finance. And so as somebody who's seen this entire study abroad place or study abroad ecosystem evolve in the last 20 years, I thought that I could add some value both from my personal experience and from all the connections that I have made in the last 20 years by co-founding something like EduFund. At EduFund, the biggest thing that we stress on is that education should be a very holistic journey. And while we think about it as holistic, a lot of times the entire process becomes very siloed and fragmented. So what we are trying to create at EduFund is a one-stop solution for your academic journey. So what do I mean by this? Pretty much, can you imagine a place where you can talk about your savings related to education, right? Loans, maybe student counseling, maybe paperwork that you need with the visa, maybe an immigration. So all the pit stops that come along this study abroad road is what we are trying to provide in a single platform. That's EduFund, and I hope this will be a useful session. We are going to quickly go over a presentation and after that open it up for Q&A. Anuja, please. Hi, Anuja.
Yes, hi, Arindam.
Please
Thank
introduce.
you so much. I am thankful that EduFund invited us today, and Tayyab, I hope you are going to share the PPT here.
Yes, Anuja. We just wanted a little introduction about my foreign education, if
Definitely.
that's possible.
So yes, my name is Anuja Shekhawat, and I am heading my foreign education department. The reason we started this division is basically, to mentor those students who are willing to continue their studies in abroad, especially Canada. So in Canada, we do send a lot of students. Our just motto is not to, get student a good admission into a university or college, but we believe that a best counseling for their studies can build up their career in a much better way, and they land up to a destination which they have always dreamt of. So that is the reason we started this, and we are taking it positively. A lot of students come to us, we counsel them, and we are happy to get them admitted into a good college or university.
Thank you. Let's start.
Thanks, Anuja. Yes. So
yes. So number one, right? You could study abroad at so many places. Why do we study in Canada? Very simple, few points. Canada has some of the best universities globally. Also, in terms of value or price, these universities are very competitively priced. I'll give you an example. US, if you study at a top 30 college in US, you will definitely, for undergrad, end up paying 1.5 to 1.75 crores, maybe even 2 crores if it's in a large city. Thus, while in Canada, a top 10 university, you can easily finish in 65 to 85 lakhs. So the price difference is huge, and you're still getting a very good quality. The third point is Canada, with respect to a lot of us, we see studying abroad as the first step in building a life abroad or maybe an immigration. So Canada, in that regard, provides a very stable job regime and immigration regime. So what do I mean by that? It has, in the last few years, it has really welcomed international students to come study and then enter the workforce, which the US, because of the H-1B that most of you are aware of, H-1B is a hit or miss, and it is pretty hard to get an H-1B and even harder to maintain an H-1B year after year. And the last reason is, so from my time, I mean, when I was a young student in US many years ago, Canada only had Canadian companies that were present in Canada. And a lot of these Canadian companies, not many people knew about them. Today, Canada is home to some of the largest companies in the world. So you are no longer restricted by studying in Canada. So these are some of the reasons why study in Canada. Next, please.
Yes,
Okay.
so I'll take this up,
Yes.
Arindam.
Yes, please.
Also, we would like to speak about a unique proposition which comes to studies plus immigration, right? So, as you all are aware that there are two streams, direct stream and indirect stream. Also, just to brief you, we are in collaboration with more than 900 plus universities, which offers you more than 14,000 plus courses in different fields of education. We do have our own in-house IDP and British Council certified coaches who are best when it comes to delivering coaching and training for your English proficiency test. We do have trained more than almost 10,000 students successfully till date, and the students ratio has been increasing with us. That's a good point. Another main point I would want to bring into your focus is the average undergraduate salary in Canada is almost like $45,000 per year, and the average master salary in Canada lasts up to $65,000 per year. So these are few benefits which makes Canada as a dream destination for most of the students in India.
One thing I would like to add here on top of what Anuja said. So if you look at the salary levels, right? Part of the reason these salary levels are very attractive is because Canada, number one, is a cheap place to live and work other than Toronto. Toronto is expensive like any big city, but rest of Canada is not very expensive. Number two, a lot of these universities, when you go through your academic journey, as I mentioned previously, they are not very expensive. So your return on investment is pretty high. So that's where these salaries become very attractive because you are getting a much lower inflation and a much higher ROI on your investment.
Correct. Thank you, Arindam.
Next, please.
Okay, so yes, while getting an admission or thinking before you want to start your education in foreign, there are a couple of things. The first one you need to keep in mind is counseling. A best counseling at the right time can actually help you students to take a better course which you are already wanting to. We are always there, to help you in counsel which course will fit looking at your profile, which are the streams which can provide you much better job opportunities. Because for most of the students we have been hearing that admission is just not the task. So yes, we appreciate that after doing your certain courses, or maybe it's a graduation level course or post graduation level course, the output should be in terms of achieving good better job opportunities. And also if you settle down, like people want to call their families. So this is how we take care of the counseling, starting from brainstorming about your interest, which course are you interested in, Any preferences that students have, we also work on that. And we suggest you the best college, which also fits into your budget. Number two is admission process. I would not say that it's a very hectic way, though the time consumed in the admission is around 5 to 6 months. But the simple process, if I would brief you quickly, is you come to us, we look at your mark sheets. For example, you want to go to your graduation, we look at your 10th and 12th mark sheets, we talk to you, we brainstorm, we try to understand your interest areas. Accordingly, we assess your profile and we get back to you with few colleges which is in your interest. You come back to us, you finalize the colleges, we apply to few of the colleges and we wait for the LOA, which is letter of acceptance by a particular university or college. Once we are done with that, we then create your GIC account and further process, all those biometric tests, police verification, medical examination, everything is taken care by us. So it's like starting from counseling. By the time you get your student visa in your hand, we are there to take care of it. The most important thing in pandemic is taking care of COVID protocols. Now, every day, we have been hearing a certain change in the students, be it concerned to your admission or your visa or your travel. Number one is I would want to bring to your notice that Canada is expecting all the students to be fully vaccinated by a WHO approved vaccine, which is certainly Covaxin is not in the approved list of vaccination. So I would suggest all the students who are planning to travel for their study in Canada should go through either Covishield or its AstraZeneca. Then another update regarding this COVID is students now have to carry their negative test reports, which needs to be conducted 74 hours ago when you start your travel. Third point, I will just make it a quick point. Please take into consideration that you cannot plan your travel before before 4 weeks of the start date of your course, which is mentioned on your LOA. So please take care of it. Otherwise, once you land into Canada, the CBSE, meaning the Canada Border Services, has got all the rights to send you back from the airport itself, and the expenses has to be bared by all the students only. So these were some few updates. I hope this will help you, people who are planning to travel. Last but not the least, the flights have been banned till 31st of September. That's it.
One thing on your checklist that I would like to throw light on is the financial stack, right? So what do I mean by that? So unless you're extremely lucky, you will not get 100% scholarship. So what do? You will probably need to take a loan, and you will probably need to put some of your family's money or your own savings towards your education, which is your savings essentially. Most of us have financed our education as a savings plus loan. And one of the smarter ways, if you are 6 months away from going to Canada, maybe a year away from going to Canada, one of the smarter ways of using your savings is by moving some of this money into a US dollar denominated savings instrument like a mutual fund. So I'm sure a lot of you are aware of mutual funds in India, and you have the same things in US. However, when you save in US dollar, remember US dollar is a stronger currency compared to Canadian dollar. So it helps you with your savings. And those 2, 3, 4% on a large sum of money is significant. The second thing is loan. So we work with multiple financial institutions to help you get a loan, both with collateral and without collateral. What usually helps is if you have the acceptance letter, but if you don't, we can still work on your application. Next, please. Tayyab?
1 second, Arunam. It's a little stuck.
So yeah, I believe few popular fields of education in Canada is just in front of your eyes. Students can have a look at it. It's basically, it's the top few fields. It's one of them is engineering in all the fields, which is mechanical, electrical, and your computer science. Another is business management and business analytics, which is highly into demand. Economics and international affairs are another subject. Pharma and biotech is again into a high demand in Canada, especially people who are trying to pursue their career in healthcare services. Basically, when it comes to nursing, you should almost think that it's going to be a government job, you know. So nurses are highly into demand. This occupation is very much demanding. Another one is, since we are all aware that Canada is a beautiful country, so hospitality and tourism is also one of the good field to pursue your education into. And the last is the architecture. So yes, these are few basic, popular fields which Canada always is into demand. And also, if students are planning their career into the same field, we have got affiliation with all relevant colleges and university. You can contact us anytime.
One thing, just to add on here, right? So I think studying abroad is a very adventurous experience, and it's also once in a lifetime experience. And for a lot of you who are very young, remember a lot of things that are popular today as degrees or majors in India may not be sustainable and even popular 20 years down. So that's the whole idea of using studying abroad, right? For example, I'll give you an idea. I mean, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, there was nothing like data science. Most of us never had that opportunity. Now, data science or data analytics today is one of the hottest selling items, right? I mean, there's a job available for anybody that has anything to do with data, right? So when you study abroad, make sure that you don't lose focus on some of these fields of studies which may not be so popular in India. So make sure that you work with a good counselor, explore what is coming up and what is the long-term implication of some of these new fields of study.
Right.
Next, please. So I saw somebody asked a question about how to get a non-collateralized loan, right? So let's just talk about student loans for 2 minutes. So there are two types of loans available. You can get a loan with a collateral or you can get a loan without a collateral. Now, what's the difference? Basically, when a bank writes you a loan or a bank or a financial institution gives you a loan, one thing they want to be very sure of is what is the probability that you will repay the loan back with interest. What the banks or the financial institutes enforce is a safety feature, which is the collateral. I have seen and we have given loans without a collateral. How does that work? Very easy. You have to make sure that you get admission in a really good college. Why? Because typically a better institute is seen as one of the surest ways of getting a job. So how does a bank think of it? That if you went to a pretty top quality institute, did something which is a popular program, the chances of you getting a job is very high. And if you get a job, you will repay back the amount. So whenever we talk of non-collateralized loans, you have to think of how good is the institute that you're planning to go to. Now, if you go to non-collateral or collateralized loans, what are the collaterals, right? You could give real estate, not a land, but actual built up real estate. FD is okay. Sometimes even stocks or mutual funds held in demat account, even that is okay. And they are pretty easy to get. Most of the time, student loans, they kick in after 6 to 12 months of moratorium, which is after your studying period. And some of the banks are also very friendly now in the way they treat a loan. You can not only take your tuition amount in the loan, but you can have other expenses like travel, laptop, and even some living expenses. So the loan is not just restricted to your tuition amount. Next, please. And one other piece I would like to add here. A lot of us in India have used real estate as a very popular savings instrument. And when you try to sell real estate, it will often either not sell at the price you want to sell or not sell at all. So a loan, so using that piece of real estate as a collateral to get a student loan is a much smarter way than trying to sell it, delaying the process and not going to study. So if you have a dead real estate, make sure that you use it well. Next, please. Just
Great.
What are the things that EduFund can help you with? All the things that we've listed here. So I'll just go over them: student counseling, student visa application, the preparation, the academic preparation, GIC account, Canadian immigration. So let's say now you've finished your studying or you want to understand, okay, after being a student, how do I stay back in the country, right? And even student loans. So I see somebody had asked a question. So if you have a loan inquiry or an interest in loan, you need to go on our app. We have an app called EduFund. It's available on your store, EduFund. Go on the app, download it, and you will see a loan option. You will see a counseling option, or send us an email. But these are all the things that EduFund can help you with. Also, my team will reach out to all the people who are on this, and any inquiries that you have, we'll be more than happy to help you with. We'll open this up for questions now, please. Tayyab, yes, let's do Q&A.
Yes, Alan. So before we go ahead, I just want to make an announcement that this webinar was basically an introduction of how the process is going to be like. But on an individual level, if you do want to go ahead and pursue this route, you can reach out to us through the EduFund app. Just download the app and you can get in touch with us either for student loans or the entire process. So I think the excellent counseling services of My Foreign Education will be available for made available for all of you. Thank you, Arindam and Anuja. We'll go ahead with the questions.
Sure.
Arindam, can you see the questions through the message box?
Sure. Chat, right? I mean, so yes, I think I asked the question about Mishal, I think, had written a question about how can we get a loan without collateral. So Mishal, please send us an email about this. You can also join our Telegram channel. The banks, we work with all the banks, and a lot of them, both Credila, HDFC Credila, and ICICI help out with non-collateralized loans. So food science course, I don't know specific opportunity of getting a job through food science course. I'm pretty sure that there is a job available. I'm hoping so. What I would request you is, if you want to study something so specific, talk to a counselor. Make sure they talk to some of the universities that you're targeting for this particular program, and you get the statistics from those universities about what has been the placement before you last 3 years. That will give you a very good idea.
I have a question for Anuja from Ashmita. Ashmita is asking what will be the score requirements, as in the number or the marks you would need to easily study in Canada.
Okay, so is this an IELTS score or this is an academic score?
She's talking about academic score.
So Ashmita, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Ashmita, the answer to this question is every university and every college have a different score criteria, right? It is known as GPA. So like it varies from college to college. The minimum I can tell about IELTS should be above 6. Overall, it should be 6.5. But academics as such, there is no particular requirement. For example, if you want to go for like an MBA, right? So maybe few of the colleges may come up with the requirement, as in few of the colleges ask for 77% as your GPA. Few of them have less requirements. So there is no fixed percentage which is required in your academics. It depends.
Anuja, can you throw some light on if you go to a tier 1 college?
Participants can use the chat box to send in questions if you have more of them. So I have one more from Samyak. So do I need mandatory work experience for study in Canada? That's the question.
So the answer to this question is no. You do not need any work experience if you want to study either an undergraduate program or a postgraduate program. All you need is your 10th, 12th mark sheet and your transcripts, right? If it is a post-graduation program, you need your degree certificate. Above than all these certificates, we need your IELTS scores, which is minimum if you want to apply for any college or university. The overall score we need is 6.5. 6 is workable, but if you bring 6.5, we can get you some good list of university.
Meenu is asking Anuja, which is the best university for MSc Microbiology? I'm sure there's more than one, right?
Sorry, can you please repeat, Tayyab?
Yeah, Meenu is asking which is the best university for MSc Microbiology. I'm assuming there's more than one.
Yes, of course, of course. I mean, we can, you can get in touch with us, Tayyab. These queries can get directly into us and we can counsel them one-on-one.
Great. Can I get a loan if there are no ITRs of parents next year? I'm currently in 3rd year of graduation. Arindam, is that possible?
Very hard, extremely hard. Typically, any bank wants an ITR of the last 3 years.
Got it. So so all of the other questions that I'm getting, so they're very course specific. So I would suggest you guys just go for a personal counseling session. You just have to download the app and book yourself a counseling session. It's completely free of cost, and it can really help you in the entire process. Is there any other option if there are no ITRs? Arindam, have you heard of a case where there was no ITR needed and something else was accepted?
No, I mean, you will need an ITR. Do they have a collateral? Is there a collateral available?
Madhura, I think, yes. So the collateral is available.
Okay, just ask Madhura to
Yeah.
take Madhura's contact. We will, but it's extremely hard.
Madhura, it's very case specific. So you can send in your query, just register on the EduFund app and we can get in touch with you and look at your particular case and how we can make it happen. Pragya is asking, if we have an arts background, mainly English literature, will I get a good course based on my previous education?
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely, yes.
Yes, yes, you can.
One of the advantages of studying abroad, a lot of these countries like Canada, US, they are extremely flexible in how they approach admission into masters. So you don't have to be siloed in what you've studied.
Right.
You could either do that or you could do something totally different. Totally different. I know somebody who did his undergrad in history, not in Canada, in US though, but I personally know him. He did his undergrad in history, and for his master's, he did it in mathematics, statistics. So, I mean, that's how diverse and adventurous you could be.
Right.
So we have Suraj who's asking, you said investments for just 1 year. Is that really going to help? Because there's no long time horizon. Another question for you.
Sure. The way the markets are going, Suraj, right? Tayyab,
Yeah.
I got it, right? Yes. So Suraj, ideally, yes, right? So I would look at it two ways. If the markets keep going up, like how they are going, it should help. However, if the markets fall, remember, typically in India, when markets have fallen, they have always been accompanied by currency depreciating, always. So what you don't want to do is make sure that your money is in India, and if the market falls in the next 12 months, not only you lose the value of your investment, but you lose the currency rate also. So it's a hedge. Say for most of you who are going to study abroad, remember, they do not accept rupee. You have to move into the local currency. For any local currency in the world, so far, which is the only acceptable hedge, it is a US dollar. So whether you are going to university A, B, C, or D, 6 to 12 months before, you should hedge yourself by moving your assets into US dollar, always.
Thank you, Arindam. Anuja, there's a question about nursing.
Right.
So do you want to sort that out? So the validity of nursing in Canada.
Tayyab, could you please repeat?
Anuja, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
We'll go for this one. We'll go for a question from Minu. PG, diploma, or masters, which is the better degree in Canada and makes sense to come back in India and work with it?
We can address it maybe on one-on-one call.
Yeah, I think Minu, it really depends on which exact subject you're going in for. I'm sure like all the degrees that you would get in India, get in Canada are valid in India, right? At least more than the education we have here.
That's right.
Great. So Minu, one-on-one call is possible through the EduFund app. You just have to download it. So the link is in the chat box. So Ashwini has been kind to send it to everyone. So you can just download the app from there and book yourself. So this is for everyone. Book yourselves a one-on-one free counseling session and make sure that all of your doubts that are very case specific, that is very specific to you and your subjects and the colleges you want to go to. You can get all of that sorted with the individual counseling session with Anuja. Great. So do we have any more questions coming in?
It's Sunday.
I think we have.
Relax. We will reach out to them on a case to case. Thanks.
So we'll just finish one question, Arindam, and then we can leave.
Sure.
So, sir, as per requirement of what is the average fees for MBA in Canada, is marketing a good course to select in Canada? Arindam, can you take that?
Sure. So I would assume a 2-year MBA in Canada would be at least 50 to 60 lakhs, not counting any scholarship that you may get. So you have to be mentally ready, and at least for a tier 1 college, at least be mentally ready for 60 lakhs. And marketing, obviously, well, Canada has a lot of consumer companies. And yes, marketing is a good field to do that. But make sure you have some work experience, you select your university well, and you think through. Good luck.
Great. Thank you, Arindam. Thank you, Anuja. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank you, Tayyab.
It's been a nice, relaxing Sunday. I hope that carries on. You guys have a good weekend. Please reach out to us in case of any queries, and you can of course download the app and book a one-on-one session.
Tayyab, I'm sorry to intervene. Before we end
yes, Anuja.
Yes, before we end up this, I would want to bring one important information to all the students. So most of our students come with one specific inquiry, which is regarding IELTS, right? I hope students who have joined us today also must be having the same thing in their mind. So the question comes here is IELTS required to apply for your foreign education, right? Also, a few of the students ask us that, is there any option or is there any college or university who can provide you admission without your IELTS score? So guys, I just wanted to bring this to your notice that you should understand one thing. First of all, you are walking into an economy which is majorly English speaking economy, right? So you need to understand that IELTS is just not a requirement for your admission, but it is also a requirement for your visa, isn't it? So that's very logical. I mean, there is no university or college which gives you admission without even knowing your English proficiency. So you have to be good enough into listening, reading, writing, and all those skills, right? So I expect students to come to us only after taking this into consideration, that if they're trying to pursue their career in foreign, they have to prepare for IELTS or other competitive exams, because these scores makes your profile more competitive. I hope this will add some value to students who are planning to go ahead.
Thank you so much, Anuja. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you,
Please
Taya.
have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.